Hi there, this is Hannah, and today I want to talk about courage. What exactly is courage? Sometimes we think that if I just weren't so fearful, or if I didn't have these insecurities, or if I just didn't, if I had just had more confidence, then I would have courage to do the thing that I need to be doing. And that just isn't the case. The courage is about choice. It's the choice to face fear and uncertainty and doubt. It is willingness to take pain and get uncomfortable in order to advance our purpose. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it is feeling that fear and doing it anyway. So, what exactly happens in the brain when we experience fear? So, when we experience a situation that our brain interprets as a threat, whether that threat is real or perceived, uh, the limbic system in the brain gets activated. So that's the part of the brain that regulates emotion, and it triggers a fear response that is really a survival response. Right, the body is experiencing a threat to our survival, whether that's a psychological threat or a physical threat. And we jump into this fight or flight mode. So our pulse starts racing, our heartbeat gets faster, and our muscles tense up. We're ready to charge or to run away, or we might just freeze up and become kind of paralyzed with fear. So, in order to switch the brain out of this emotionally triggered place and into the thinking brain, we can ask questions. So the cool thing, or the strange thing about the brain, is that it can only really do one function well at a time. So either we are feeling strongly or we're thinking clearly. We can't really do both at the same time. So when we ask a question of ourselves and of other people, it switches our brain from the limbic, emotionally reactive place to the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that thinks. Okay. And when we're thinking, the emotional intensity subsides. So when we experience fear, something we're unfamiliar with, or just that we're avoiding, get curious. Ask yourself a question. Where's this fear coming from? Why am I avoiding this task or this situation? And it could be something like here, what I'm doing, showing up on video. That's something that I tend to avoid because it feels really uncomfortable for me. But I'm choosing to lean into it. So here I am today talking about courage on video. So that's one of the strategies that we can do to just really lean into the thing that we're avoiding or that we're experiencing uncertainty or fear about. So how do we really lead from a place of courage? How do we lead ourselves first and others? It starts by showing up for yourself. So ask for what you need. And for some of us, that is an act of courage. Not everybody feels comfortable asking for what they need. It also means that we dare to be seen. If we are going to live wholeheartedly, that means we're showing not only our strengths, but also our struggles. We're showing everything that's in our hearts. Brene Brown says that courage is a heart word. So the Latin root of the word heart is core, which is the root of the word courage. So in an earlier translation of that word, the word literally meant to show everything that's in your heart. And later the word has become associated with bravery and things like that. But I really do believe that wholeheartedness is part of courage, and also vulnerability, because when we allow others to see everything what is really in our hearts, that is a very vulnerable place to be. So courage requires vulnerability. And then, as we already talked about, lean into the fear, get curious about it, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Learning and growth is uncomfortable inherently. So let's step out of the comfort zone and into the growth zone. Have the difficult conversations. give them meaningful feedback, engage in healthy conflict. When we avoid those situations, we don't grow, and neither does our organization. And finally, I want to say, fight for the heart of it. When you know what's right, when you know what is at the heart of the matter, speak up. Speak what is in your heart, even if that's an unpopular belief. So the bottom line here is that business evolution begins with the courage of individuals. So I challenge you this week to think about what are some courageous acts that you need to take this week, big or small. For me, it was showing up, doing this video. Have an awesome week.